Sox take on the Twins. 6 o'clock pregame right here on the home of the White Sox, ESPN 1000.
Boy, Carm and York were firing on the Bears drafting the punter. They called it a pick of arrogance. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you got to be authentically you when you're coming to Yurko, right? Yeah, I mean, that train's never late when you take a crap on special teams. So not a surprise there. Around the NFL, here's Shea Norling. Shea?
All right, well, speaking of the Bears draft, Kaplan tasked me with a Austin Booker scouting report yesterday.
Yes.
I've watched this kid a bit. I watched a lot of Kansas football this year. They were good in the Big 12. He kind of jumps off the screen when you watch him. He was quite explosive. Maybe not elite. I'm not saying he's Micah Parsons, but for a 5th-round pick, he's got a lot of explosiveness. There's one issue. Bit like J.J. McCarthy as a quarterback, Austin Booker's only played about 500 snaps in college. There's just not a lot to look at or watch. That said, for his experience level, you're getting a guy who's got a kind of deep pass rush arsenal. It could grow a little more, but he's got some good moves. Hand fighting really good. He flashes hands, and then he can explode through an offensive lineman. I like this kid a lot. I liked him coming into the draft. The experience level's worrisome, but what he can do relative to it is really impressive. Kind of tells me he's coachable. Why did he drop to the 5th round? He was projected 3rd. Honestly, probably the subpar RAS score. Only got about a 7. It was middling for his RAS score. And
tell people what a RAS score is.
It's the relative athletic score. It takes your combine measurements and tracks them against the elite players. So it qualifies like your 40 time, your vertical jump, all the things that you do at the combine, plus your physical measurements, and puts them up into a relative score that normalizes. If you're in the 9s, you're elite. If you're in the 8s, you're good. If you're in the 7s, nah. And that's where Austin Booker fell. He was in the 7s. So he's got subpar RAS. And he's only played 500 snaps. So what are people supposed to do? There's not a lot to evaluate.
They went to Kansas.
What does that mean?
He started at Minnesota. He transferred to Kansas.
So you can't get it done at Minnesota and you downgrade down to Kansas football?
To be fair, he had a good season.
Danny.
12 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 38 pressures. He had a nice year. And he was dominant against Illinois.
Oh, that's impressive.
They had a good offensive line, Illinois.
They do. They have a really good center. Josh Kreutz. Really good.
I mean, here's a guy here that led Kansas in sacks, tackles for a loss, and forced fumbles. He's 6'4", every bit of 253. And so if you get anything out of him, that's a positive.
Plus, if you do sign Calais Campbell or Yannick Ngakoue or trade for Trey Hendricks, whoever it is, he can develop. Mm-hmm. You don't have to ask him, can you start as a rookie and make an impact? So we'll see.
He'll be 21 in December, and just kind of a project, Cap. Kind of like the offensive tackle they got out of Yale.
Kiran Amagaji.
Yeah, Dallas Comagese is going to be a good player for them. And I just think
he played for DePaul.
Yeah, and playing for the Bears now. Pretty good, kid. I like Comagese on this team. And again, a guy that had some productive moments in Yale, kind of a project. Good for him.
Amagaji. Repeat after me. Amagaji, not Comagese. Amagaji. Kiran Amagaji.
I don't know if I should hit the dump button. I don't know if you can say that on the radio. Wow. Here's Shea Norling.
All right, I have to clarify. I don't know if this is real. Kaplan sent it to us yesterday. It's starting to garner some headlines. A social media user posted a photo that is now going viral and getting the attention of news outlets, claiming that the Atlanta Falcons very briefly introduced Michael Penix Jr. on Instagram as Michael Penis before deleting and correcting the post. I don't know if this is legit, but it's one of those things where you see it. Can you really put it past the Falcons? Like, do they get the benefit of the doubt on this?
I mean, here's the thing. You have to do that on purpose because that's not even close. Penix, P-N-N-I-X, right?
Yeah, but the S is right above the X.
Cap. Do you spell penis with 2 N's? You do not. Why are you thinking about that?
There's only one N in Penix.
I'm looking at the keyboard right here. There's only one N in Penix, P-E-N-I, and then you just happen to hit the key right below the S. You go, Or right above the X. Bam, there's the S.
Whoever's putting that out there is fired today. Fired.
So nobody can make a mistake?
Penis!
Cut that meat.
Kap! Really? Fired today.
Wow.
This is dumb. I mean, how about a little spell check?
They deleted it right away,
Doesn't matter. That's just dumb.
but they had hit send.
That's the problem. So, because they hit send, fired. Absolutely fired. You really think that they drafted someone named Michael Penis, really? Kap?
Well, I'm not saying that they thought they did that. They just accidentally hit
No.
the S instead of the X.
You have to try to do
hit
that.
the send and went, oh, God.
Yes. Yes. You have to try to do that for that to happen. You have to. You know, it'd be funny if I write penis instead of penix. Send. Oops. Oopsie.
And not only that, Penis Jr.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So,
And Michael Peters.
All right, that's enough.
so even
I'm
smaller.
calling it. That's enough.
So even smaller than the quarterback that they drafted.
Like, my question is, like, I read it before I hit send on a tweet, I literally read it like twice.
Yes. To make sure it does have penis on
Work
there.
out, I want it. Okay.
Yes.
And like you're telling me, you just drafted this dude. It's controversial as it is. Let me read that. Yeah, it looks good to me. Send.
Come on,
Oh,
man.
God.
This Penis Jr. I mean, come on now. The worst.
Excuse me, Mr. Font. No, yes. Did we draft a kid named Penis Jr.?
Can you imagine if it was his name? Actually, what that would be like? I mean, I always called him, like, I had friends that gave him that nickname when he was at Indiana, and he was torching Michigan State. That's just what we called him because we didn't like him.
Good player.
That person's fired today. Shea.
Wow.
Roger Goodell said something at the draft that I thought was interesting. He would like to make an 18-game season with a Super Bowl that extends into late February and more primetime games. So you can already see where this is going. The Monday Night Football is now going to probably often be a Monday night doubleheader, as they've done 3 times a year the past few seasons. We know that they want to add Friday night games with what they're doing in Sao Paulo to open the season. Thursday night games already exist. They want to take Wednesday Christmases. At what point is enough enough? Like, do people really want this much football? I feel like this is going to end up being too much of a good thing. One of my favorite things about football is its scarcity. It's special because you miss it when you don't have it. If they give it to me every single night of the week, I'm never going to have time to miss it and appreciate it. It won't be special anymore. It'll just be football.
It won't be in our lifetime, Kap, but in Shea's lifetime, possibly, there's going to be a 20-game or more season. It will be. Because there's too much money to be made. The NFL is a big juggernaut. Shea, you will not believe this, but Kap and I grew up in an era in which the NFL was not king. It was not. It was baseball and boxing.
Back in the day when it was really special and you got 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on Sundays, East Coast, that's it. There was no Monday night. There was no Sunday night.
I mean, there was a time where football was not this, and what my advice to the NFL would be this. For me, this is why, as a consumer, it's great. I don't have to watch every NFL game. I'm a Bears fan. Now, I watch NFL games to get a perspective around the league, but I'm not locked into every NFL game. I'm not. I'm a college football fan. But my point is, Kap, is that if they really want to take advantage of this, the greatness that they have right now, this golden goose, make it more of a global game. Like, they've already been to UK, Germany. They're going to be in Brazil. Just keep it going. Just keep going as far across the equator as you want. Keep going around the globe with this, like the NBA does. The NBA is a global game, right?
It is.
But the NFL, if they keep going like this, Kap, they're just going to be in Canada one day, and they're going to be in Brazil, they're going to be in Mexico, and they're going to be. They just keep going with this. Make it the global game it is, because everyone cares.
If they put a team in Costa Rica, let's go.
Sure. I mean, go ahead. There's been rumor and innuendo about an NFL team in Mexico City for a long time. You want to do it? Fine. But nothing stops it. It is amazing. Baseball has never been this popular, on this kind of popular plane. As much as we love baseball, it's never been like this. Oh, my God. It's crazy.
I just think, Hoodie, like, I think it'll lose a little bit of the magic if it becomes this kind of year. Like, if they back a spring league, then, you know, the UFL is growing now.
Yeah, I could care less about that stuff.
If they extend things so you get, like, really 30 days in the summer where there's no football going on, but the rest of the time they've got these different events that they have.
The spring league will have zero impact. Zero.
The more that they start to feed me football, the less of the magic is there.
I
It was
agree
in
with
its
you.
sweet spot a couple years ago. It was perfect. And I love it now where we get to this time of year and the next couple months, I'm going to start to really miss it. And then it comes back and I'm excited. But if I have football every day all the time, I'm never going to be able to miss it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with you with this. But this is what the NFL is. And by the way, the reason why they would supply more games is because of the demand. People want to gamble on it more. They want more fantasy football because of the money. You want to know why it's expanding? Because of money. That's how you follow it.
Follow the money.
That's what it is.
But, yeah, I have no problem if they move the Super Bowl 2 weeks late. Doesn't bother me at all. Have at it.
You're not even a football fan like that. You just want to be contrarian.
No,
you're a baseball man.
Baseball's my favorite sport.
Yes.
But I love football. But I like the NFL like miles ahead of college. You're more a college guy, and Shea, too.